Today's conversation is on transcending the illusory programming of the matrix. Transcending the illusory programming of the matrix so you can live the way you truly desire to live without limitation, without restriction, without condition, thus experiencing life fully, being on purpose, being in flow, from which everything appears to be in harmony with you. People appear to be in harmony with you. Environments appear to be in harmony with you. Information appears to be in harmony with you. Circumstances appear to be in harmony with you. You appear to be in harmony with all, and all appear to be in harmony with you. That is reality. You are reality, perfect as you are. You experience the absolute reality by releasing the identification to the matrix programming, which at times I refer to as the conditions placed upon consciousness. These are conditions or programming that suggest, and how do we know? These thoughts appear in mind that seem to suggest lack of love, lack of happiness, lack of peace, lack of bliss, lack of fulfillment, not being who you desire to be, not having what you desire. These thoughts arise from the programming in mind, and you are not the programming. It does not represent who you are. Do you really think that you lack love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment? Do you really think that you are not who you desire to be? That you do not have what you desire? That belongs to what the Bible refers to as the old man. So we do not identify with the old man, or it is also referred to as the former self, because the former self is not the real self. The old man is not the real man. And what I mean by this very specifically, you transcend the thoughts, you transcend the mind, you transcend the beliefs. Yes, you can place in mind particular thoughts that play out as theater, particular beliefs that play out as theater, yet you remain the same. You were the same 5 minutes ago, an hour ago, 5 hours ago, 5 years ago. You remain the same. I remain the same. I may think this, I may believe that, I may like this, I may not like that, yet I remain the same. Now, knowing right now that you transcend these thoughts, these beliefs, the mind, rather than placing more conditions in mind, more limitations in mind, more thoughts that suggest you are not love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment, that you do not have what you desire, that you lack, that you are limited, inquire into the source of I. By inquiring, where do I spring from? If I know that I transcend the thoughts, the beliefs, the mind, who am I? Where do I spring from? And the way we can do this is by not identifying with the thoughts, allowing the thoughts to appear to disappear. What remains? You remain. Now, as you remain as you are, perfect as you are, beyond thoughts of limitation, beyond beliefs of condition, what naturally emerges from the heart, what naturally emerges is experiential love, experiential happiness, experiential peace, experiential bliss, experiential fulfillment. It arises naturally. It saturates the mind. You experience it in the body. Undeniable love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment for no reason. Not because an external condition is met. This person said this. This environment appears this way. This information suggests this. Not because of any external reason. It is at that point where you experience what is referred to as Sat Chit Ananda, existence consciousness bliss, or being consciousness bliss, or truth consciousness bliss. That is you. That is who you are. And so now we experience, without me trying to convince you, without me telling you, you are love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment, you experience yourself. You experience the self, beyond the I, the self where I spring from, the sure foundation, being existence, consciousness, bliss. Or we could say existence, consciousness, joy, existence, consciousness, peace, existence, consciousness, happiness. There's a number of translations for Ananda, existence, consciousness, bliss, Sat Chit Ananda, truth, consciousness, bliss, or being, consciousness, bliss. So what I teach is, instead of putting more conditions, as you acknowledge yourself to be beyond condition, release those conditions. Allow yourself to be. Allow thyself to be. Be as you are, perfect as you are. And mind is purified. Mind is purified from this conditioning, this programming, this matrix programming that suggests you lack. You are not love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment, which is clearly illusory. These are illusory thoughts. That's illusory programming. Because we just went through a step-by-step example. You acknowledge in the moment that you transcend these thoughts. You transcend these beliefs. You transcend the mind. Sure, you can. I can place thoughts in mind. I can believe this. I can do this. I can do that. Yet who am I and where do I spring from? So we inquire. We inquire into the source of I. We transcend the illusions of I. This is also experienced while you're in flow. Have you noticed that while you're in flow, there is no I? You know, Bruce Lee said it wonderful one time. There is no enemy because the word I does not exist. The I thoughts of, let's say, lack, limitation, we could say belong to the I that thinks this, thinks that in terms of limitation. It does not belong to the sure foundation which I spring from. That I am. That you are. Existence, consciousness, bliss, love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment. That is you. So rather than placing more conditions, allow the mind to be saturated, allow the body to embody thyself. That is how you transcend the illusory programming of the matrix. And what happens? What are the practical benefits of this? What is the point of this? Well, this is the point of life, you could say. To be as you are. To be perfect as you are now. You are love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment, pushed out, experiencing yourself as wonderful, harmonious relationships, wonderful, harmonious business, wonderful, harmonious hobbies. That is you. That is you. It is clearly you. You are not the illusions of I, which has been formed by not knowing thyself. The person may say, this condition needs to be met externally in order for me to experience love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment, which is an illusion. It does not need to be met. We just proved it in an equation. We acknowledge we transcended those illusions of I, and we experience thyself to be what we desire to be. Existence is love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment. It is true. So we can also say, I don't need to do anything. I can do nothing to experience myself at any moment if I think that I lack, that I am not love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment. Illusory thoughts. And it's not you really thinking. We could say if you were really thinking for yourself, you would acknowledge that you are love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment, and you would think accordingly. Philippians 4:8. Whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good rapport. That is you. Why does it say that in the Bible? It is teaching the individual how to think for thyself. It is teaching the individual to think for thyself. And no shame, no condemnation. The person may not have thought about thinking for themselves, what that really means. They may think thinking for themselves means copying what other people are doing. This is how you think for yourself, by looking to this world and observing how people think, and then from there forming conclusions and suggesting that they now think for themselves, even though the thinking for themselves is based on condition, based on limitation, based on lack. No shame, no condemnation, no blame. You are not that programming. You are not the beliefs of limitation. You are not those conditions placed upon consciousness. The person may feel that they are. They may think that they are. They may experience those conditions, and they may be identified with the mind. They think they are the mind. You transcend the mind. We just proved it in an equation. If you can place in mind a thought, a belief, and you can change those beliefs, you can change those thoughts, then you are not the mind. You transcend the mind. The person in mind who thinks they are the person in mind plays out these theaters, and then they think that they lack something. They have a problem. They don't have a problem. That they're not whole, that they're not complete, that they're not love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment, which is clearly not true. No shame, no condemnation. The individual can acknowledge in the moment, who am I? I transcend these thoughts. Yet that is not the true I. The true I is I am. What is I am? I am. I choose not to put any bias on it. Yet I trust you notice this. Being as I am, knowing that I am, experiencing that I am, great pointer words that describe the experience without putting limitations on it, without putting conditions on it, experientially. And we see it all throughout the various scriptures of the world. Existence, consciousness, bliss, love, happiness, peace, fulfillment. I may think that I need to place conditions upon consciousness to experience reality in a perfect way, when actually, as I release these conditions placed upon consciousness, I trust you notice this as well, practically speaking, you remain in your flow. People appear to be in harmony with you. You appear to be in harmony with people. You let people be, they let you be, you let the world be, it lets you be. Information, you let it be, it lets you be. Everything appears to be. Everything appears to be what? Everything appears to be perfect as it is now. This is the play of God. I, then, don't interfere with the play of God by placing these conditions on consciousness, suggesting that I need to experience this. Then I can experience love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment. Because I separate, let's say, from the source to try to control things so that reality can appear to be perfect. Yet, as I return back to the source, that's what we're talking about here, to release the identification to the illusory programming of the matrix, return back to the source. The source of love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment is within. God is the source of love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment within. Return back to the source. Experience the source. I can honestly say there's no other experience like it. This, what I speak about, these pointer words, love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment, are not there to limit or condition God. They're there to point to what I, as the human being, can describe as the experience. And how can then I imagine any limitation after that? Any condition after that? Place in mind a thought or belief that suggests I am not love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment? So, over the course of the years, when I discovered the self to be love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment, infinite love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment, not conditional love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment, infinite love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment. And why do I use those words? Well, it's articulated all throughout the various scriptures of the world. There have been many sages that pointed to this. We know existence, consciousness, bliss, Satchit, Ananda. Yet it's not a concept. It is an experience. It is the realist experience of yourself. There's nothing realer out there. And I like to use those words because that was what I was seeking for my whole life. I was seeking for love externally. I was seeking for happiness externally. I was seeking for peace externally. I was seeking for bliss externally. I was seeking for fulfillment externally. And nothing wrong with me. No shame, no condemnation. I was seeking for the source of love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment. And I found it within myself as the true nature of self. So I didn't find it and I still remain separate from it. I am love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment. And as you and I are no different, you are love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment. As in the end, as it is now, and ever shall be, only God alone exists. So I reminded myself over the years. I said, no matter what appears here, I return to the source. And to prove the point that love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment is within, consider experiences that you have. I love snowboarding. I love making these videos. I love entrepreneurship. I love many different kinds of experiences. As I have these kinds of experiences, as you have whatever kinds of experiences that you enjoy, and you may say, I love this experience. This is where I experience happiness. This is where I experience peace. This is where I experience bliss. This is where I experience fulfillment. Inquire, where is that experienced? Is it experienced externally? The person may say, well, it is because of the external reason or condition. The condition is met, therefore I can experience love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment. So in other words, the condition has been placed upon consciousness that suggests that these conditions need to be met in order to experience love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment. What if those conditions don't appear to be met? Well then, the person in mind thinks, emotionally relates, and behaves in a way that seems to suggest that they lack love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment. No shame, no condemnation, no blame. Release that identification. Release that condition placed upon consciousness. That is not you. You are not that limitation. You are not a limitation pushed out. You are love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment pushed out. As you release these conditions placed upon consciousness, who you are radiates forth. And the experience is, yes, I experience it within. I experience love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment with snowboarding, with making videos, with this person, and with or without snowboarding, with or without this person, with or without making videos. Because that is who I am. That is the being I am. So does the programming represent the being I am? Does the programming represent the being you are? If it does not, illusory. I don't identify with it. How do I not identify with it? If thoughts that suggest lack, limitation, not being who I desire to be, not having what I desire, if they arise in mind, they appear to disappear. I don't identify with them. They appear to disappear. Why would I identify with them? Having known. And why would you identify with them? As you know that you transcend those thoughts of lack, of limitation, which arise from programming, which is not you, the matrix programming, which is not you, and having inquired into the source from where you spring from, where I spring from, it is experienced as love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment, for no reason. We realize then God gives infinite love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment for no reason, no condition. You don't earn the kingdom. Seek ye first the kingdom, and all these things are added onto you. So this is a practical example. Inquire into the source of I. Where do I spring from? Immediate love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment. You found the kingdom. And all these things are now added onto you. These conditions placed upon consciousness fall away. That which I once desired appears to be added onto me. I trust you see this as well. You remain in flow. Business deals flow. Relationships flow. Environments flow. Everything seems to happen easier, faster, more effortlessly, because I don't seek for external love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment anymore, because I know that I am love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment. That matrix programming was generating suffering. The person in mind thinks that they need to do this or that in order to get it. It's an illusion. So, as mentioned, where do you experience love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment? Not at the condition, with the condition, yet you experience it within. So we could say those are glimpses of your true nature. Yet we don't need to condition consciousness so that if those conditions are met, then love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment. So what did I do over the years? I kept releasing these conditions. And what naturally arose are all these things. Seek ye first the kingdom, and all these things are added onto you. So very clearly, the individual can think, the individual can believe, the individual has a mind. And if the individual identifies with thoughts of limitation, of lack, of not being love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment, no shame, no condemnation, no blame, they don't know themselves. They have not inquired into the source of I. And they don't need anyone to tell them how to think for themselves. They can, in the moment, inquire into the source of I. Where do I spring from? Who am I, and where do I spring from? I am not those thoughts of limitation. I am not those thoughts of lack. I am not these beliefs in mind. I am not these thoughts. I am not the I that thinks in terms of limitation, in terms of lack, as that would be illusory, for I know that I am. Unconditional love, unconditional peace, unconditional bliss, unconditional happiness, unconditional fulfillment. So I know my source now. I know that I am love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment. These thoughts that belong to, again, what the Bible refers to as the old man, and the old man dissolve. The former self dissolves. So that's what I do. Rather than putting more conditions placed upon consciousness, and conditions which then, if this person says this, then happiness, and if they say this other thing, then not happiness, and then if they say this word, and if they don't use this word properly, then happiness, then not happiness. Walking on eggshells, generating illusions of separation from the source of love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment, because they think that only when these conditions are met, as the individual returns back to the source and acknowledges that they don't need these conditions to be met in order to experience love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment, as they are love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment. Existence, consciousness, bliss. What happens is these conditions fall away. Mind is purified. Mind purification happens. Lately, I've been calling it with my clients the mind purifying mind. The mind having gone inward to acknowledge that existence, the fact that I exist, the fact that I am, equals love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment. Desire means having. Desire means being. The mind goes inward. Mind purifying mind. The mind purifies itself, we could say, or so it's experienced that way. So mind purifying mind. I let it be. Because it's so clear now that this programming is not real. It does not represent reality. You are reality perfect as you are, love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment. Does this program represent you? Having experienced yourself, knowing the true nature of yourself experientially. You didn't have anybody convince you. It's not me telling you. You are love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment. You experience it in the moment. You experience it in the moment, then you know yourself. You know the true nature of yourself. So these thoughts appear to disappear because they're so obviously not you. They so obviously don't represent you. And what happens? All these things that you desire are added onto you. Naturally, effortlessly, flow-based. Relationships appear to transform. Environments appear to transform. Behaviors appear to transform. Everything appears to transform to be in harmony, to represent the embodiment of being. Embodiment of being. True identity embodied. As it was the beginning, now, and ever shall be. Only God alone exists. Only God alone exists. So I trust you found this video to be helpful. Let's conclude this with an auto-suggestion to further encourage. You could say, I acknowledge God within as the source and fulfillment of love, happiness, peace, bliss, as I represent the being I am, with increasing frequency on a continuous basis as far as the senses perceive, which purifies the subconscious mind from limitations, dissolving the illusions of separation to reveal heaven on earth with increasing frequency on a continuous basis as far as the senses perceive as ideal harmonious relationships, ideal harmonious lifestyle, ideal harmonious business, ideal harmonious relationship with people, environment, circumstance, and information, acknowledging the absolute reality of God as in the end only God alone exists, perfect as God is now.